Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Dalton. This is Armson Farms, the Footlong Farmer YouTube channel. Dairy farmers in Western New York, where we milk registered Holstein cows. It is an absolute dandy of a morning outside. The sun has been shining through on me all morning, which feels so nice. It is supposed to be a little bit chillier today. We're only going to get into the 50s. Yesterday we ended up poking 72. So yesterday was a beautiful day. We do have rain coming tonight. We're supposed to be right now. So I am very happy. That means we've got another day rain-free where we can get stuff done. There's a lot on the docket for today. We've got calves we've got to move. We've got straw we got to move. And there's a pretty good chance I will probably be headed back out to roll more hay fields. But we will see how the morning goes. See if they're going to need help doing those other chores or if they want me to head right out. But either way, beautiful, beautiful day. The ladies are loving it. I'm loving it. Birds are chirping. We're in good spirits. So feels really nice. Follow along. We'll see if anything fun and exciting happens today. Also, seems like the general consensus on the debate between the 100 series deers and the 10, 20, and 30s, the hundreds won by a landslide in yesterday's poll that we did. I'm with you guys. That was my opinion. It was an unpopular opinion. Most people on the farm like the 30 series because they are newer. However, there's a couple things that I personally like better about the 100 series. I like that the hood sets a little bit lower. I actually think there's more vision in a 100 series deer than a 30 series deer. Now that's being pretty nitpicky, but because the back of that hood sits about 6 inches lower, instead of having that curve to it, I think you get a little more vision. I also like how the armrest sets about 3 to 4 inches lower in the tractor. Just my personal preference. When I'm riding the tractor, I like my arm lower than higher. So that was another thing that I like about them. Things I like better about the 30 series, I like the fuel filters. The 100 series still has the old glass filters on it. Looks like a little bit dirty. Still has the old glass square, dual fuel filters. I don't really care for those much. And also, I like the hood on the 100 series better because one of you guys had mentioned cracks. Yes, we have had a couple cracked 30 series deers. We have one cracked right now. They seem to crack. However, I like that the 30 series, you can unclip and lift the whole hood up out of the way without having to take side panels off. And I don't even know how to get the top one off. I haven't had to do it. But I like the way the hood gets out of the way better on the 30 series. So kind of nitpicky stuff, but hey, for topics here, you guys said 100 series. Personally, I agree. Also, I'm an old school cool kind of guy, and I think we are officially far enough into the 2020s where we can call 100 series deers old school cool. That's just my opinion. That's going to make some of you guys feel pretty old. But yeah, the 100 series deers are old school cool, and I think they're the perfect mix. Like, they're the oldest new style feeling tractor, meaning they got the power shift. Really, the cabs in the 100 series right up to modern day really haven't changed much. A little better seats, different radios, like stuff like that. But as far as how they function, the way they set, all of that kind of stuff, I know Wisconsin Titan 2 has always argued the 100 series deer is what all new tractors are based off of as far as the way that the cabs are set up. So yes, I'm a big fan of the 100 series. I'm a big fan of all of them, but like I said, if I had to pick between the two, I'm with you guys. I'd take the 8200. So thanks for your responses, guys. Really appreciate it. Let's get into it here. I just heard a turkey gobbling in these woods right here. That's pretty exciting. We're only a couple weeks out from that too. Definitely have seen more turkeys this spring than I have ever seen in my life. The population is definitely increasing, so that's exciting. I've never actually gotten a turkey. I've only really been turkey hunting a few times. This is the year we're gonna get one. We're gonna get a couple this year. It's gonna be sick. So we just moved the calves out of this pen here. We put them up there. Now we're gonna take the cattle trailer up to the hutches and load on some weaned calves. They can go in this pen here. So we just had that pen divvied up because we had open space. So rather than having more in a pen than we needed to, we split them up. But yeah, we're gonna go get some calves. Go back in here and just run them up through. Up here are the hutches now. This front row of calves is the calves we gotta move. This is the first time backing down through this laneway since we've added another row of hutches. It's gonna take some finesse, I think. That's a pretty narrow path down through there, but definitely gotta fold the mirrors in. We'll give it a shot. Well, it didn't fit down between here, so we're improvising. We're taking the calves to the trailer. It's working out all right. Come on, girlies. Hop on there, girlies. Come on now. Come on. There you go. Come on, sweetheart. There we go. All right, we got them loaded on. Time to take them down. Yep. Hey. All right, so those calves are all moved. Tyler's gonna haul straw home. I am gonna go get back to rolling. I grabbed a couple boxes of fuses. I'm gonna see if I can figure out which fuse powers my GPS globe. Those of you guys who watched the video yesterday, remember my GPS wasn't working and I wasn't getting any power to my globe. Guess I gotta take traction control off. That's what I get for taking the shortcut here. So yeah, there's no power to the globe, so it could be a broken wire, but it could be something as simple as a blown fuse. So I'm gonna see if I can locate which one of them that is, and we'll go from there. And there's still plenty of water sitting on this driveway up here. All right, well, we got this whole field done here. Man, this new seed looks awesome. It's real awesome. There is a broken tile down the bottom, and there's another broken tile at the far bottom of this field is wheat that'll be going into seeding this summer. I think this summer we'll probably run a tile and fix those wet holes, but yeah, I'm real happy with the way that this field looks, that's for sure. So it's a little bit after 11. I think I'm going to take an early lunch before I go to the next field. Otherwise I'll have to have someone come pick me up. It's kind of a bummer. So yeah, feels good to be out. Feels good to be out. All right, we're rolling into this next field. This is a 92-acre field, and then there's another 40-acre field. Up on that knob there's a 40-acre field of triticale that splits this one and that one. So we're gonna roll into here. I did check that fuse. I stopped at the shop on my lunch break and got the right fuse. That was not the problem. So there must be a broken wire or something somewhere in there. So no good, Cotton, no good. But oh well, we'll roll into this one and get after it here. This is a second year seeding. Last year was the first year we took a crop off of it. So nice long rows up on this road. There's from this driveway, we don't own that field over there, but this driveway that way, there's 470 acres of continuous ground. You can see the roof up there. That's our bin site where we have heifers. So those of you guys who know kind of get a reference as to where we're at. But big chunk of ground up here. It'd be awesome if we had that piece there too. But and then on the other side of these woods here, this driveway goes down to another 90-acre field. It's actually a cornfield. We're gonna get out and walk down there and see the condition. So I ripped half of it with an Amazon ripper last fall after getting manure on it, but half of it still needs manure. And it's been way too wet, but gosh, this wind is humming, the sun is shining, so there's a pretty good chance that it's dry enough now. If I got a truck to the end of this driveway, I could unload into the spreader, turn around and drive back out. So we're gonna get out and check that out while we're up here. All right, don't mind the wind. Like I said, it is humming up here. Walk back here to this field. This is just an absolute beautiful spot back here. I've told my wife, one of my lifelong goals is to have a little cabin in these woods up here, because you're over a mile off the road that way, you're over a mile from a road that way. You're just out here in the middle of nowhere. I just thought these woods would be just a really cute spot for a little hunting shack, cabin, you know, have family parties and stuff at, and good spot to hang all your deer heads, stuff like that. So first thought, in through here, it would definitely be a little greasy, just where all these leaves always pile up. I can just feel it under my feet. A little slick. Now granted, coming in loaded, you'd have the weight on your drives, so you'd be fine, I think. And right through here, it gets hard again. Up ahead, you can see it's gonna get slick again. Huh. Well, I'll walk out into the field. We'll see what it looks like out there. Yeah, I think this would still be a no-go on manure, which sucks. But maybe I'll talk to Jack. Maybe we'll get a load of potash and just do the rest of the field with that. Because, yeah, this is going to take a little more than wind, especially with more rain coming. The field itself doesn't look half that bad. Like once I get to here, I'd be fine. Loop right up in here into the field, unload, turn around, drive right back out. So you can see I plowed to there. That Amazon did a heck of a job this fall. Gosh, I'd love to walk around this field and look for sheds, but I suppose I should get back to work. Yeah, the field itself is dry. Like, probably should be hammering on it right now with the plow, but I'll have to talk to Jack about getting fertilizer up here. Ha ha ha! I love this job for this reason. You gotta know what you're looking for. Oh, pretty solid. Looks like he had a decent time there. Got chewed off. He's already been chewed on, but that's a good young buck, depending on how big that was. Yeehaw. Wow, look at how much it's been chewed down already. That's crazy. Looks like he might have had another tine right there, actually. We'll have to look on our trail cams and see if we got any pictures of him. But yeah, that's a good one. Alrighty, well, I am on my last pass in this field here. Another little wet spot sitting there. It's been a wet spot for quite a while. But yeah, so this is the last pass on this field. We're actually gonna head home quick. Got to give loop shots to group 1, our fresh group. So gonna run home, hammer that out, and then there's a couple little fields close to home I can do to finish the day out here. But yeah, a lot of acres. Kind of got to get back into the tractor routine here. The 2 o'clock slump hits a lot harder when you're sitting in a climate controlled tractor versus when you're out moving, doing stuff. I don't know if we got to pack a monster or what, something to wake you up here, but yeah, that 2 o'clock hits and just kind of slaps you in the face. So we're gonna go home, we'll give those loop shots and we'll get back after. Very exciting. They started moving some dirt over and they're filling in that old lagoon right now. They're getting started with it anyways. They've got a sheep's foot roller down there. Pretty big dozer. I don't know what that is, D8 or what. We're probably gonna swing down and take a peek at it after we give shots though. Also, Jack hammered on the lawns. Big hell yeah. Nothing better than fresh cut lawn. I mean, there's definitely, I probably think of a couple things better than fresh cut lawn, but you know, PG channel. Anyways, getting off track. They're filling in the lagoon. That's that's a big win. Big win. Yeah, no. All right, I'm gonna stop talking. All right, so I got the list here. Cows I gotta loot. So these are cows. They're still in our fresh group, but they're more than 60 days in milk, so they are eligible to be bred. On this farm, we have a 60-day voluntary waiting period, so let the cows really get good and under motion. Just give them 2 cc's of Ludolice. Some of them on here, like this cow here, are getting 2 cc's of GnRH. Of course, they're going to think they're going to the parlor because of the time of day, but we'll figure it out here. What I'll do is I'll shut the crosswalks as I go down through. We'll do one half, come down the other side, and do the other half. I got them all, their shots, except for one. I couldn't find her, so I just left the list and my Ludolice in my cabinet up here. Tomorrow morning when I'm pushing them to the fresh group, I will look and see what all I can find. See them loading the pile there. They're putting in some kind of electric line or something down the road here. Never seen them do it with just a mini excavator. That's a pretty long dig. Yeah, they're loading dirt. We'll take a ride down there quick. What a beautiful day though. All right, let's see. See, they got the big sheep's foot up there. We'll try our window down, but it's so windy and dusty. Exposure. Pretty big hole to fill. D6N. Gosh, it looked bigger from the road, but either way, it's a nice dozer. Got the measuring stick in this lagoon. We're sitting at 6 feet in there, so a little 1.5 million, something like that, hanging out in there. Yeah, this wind is unreal. Also, they took the rain away for tonight. It's supposed to get cold, but at least we don't have any wind. The off-road truck and the 225. Good deal, good deal. All right, let's get back to work. All right, well, by the time I got to the tractor here, the sky looks pretty western here. So I just came to a real small field right next door to the farm. I don't know what this is, 7-8 acres, something like that. I think we're gonna hammer this one out. If it's not raining, there's a triangle 8-acre field across the road. I can hit that field even though I hate that field. Triangle shape, corner, roundy, pain in the butt, but I suppose all acres are equal, so we gotta do it. But yeah, that sky says I don't got a lot of time left out here, so we're just gonna finish her out, call it a day here. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching, for viewing. Tell your friends and family about the Goofy Dairy Farmer on YouTube. We'll see you guys in the next one. Rock on, guys.